This video examines the architectural framework of global power, specifically focusing on the logic behind United States foreign policy, the concept of the Grand Area, and the consistent efforts to prevent the emergence of successful alternative development models. Post-war planners identified a significant disparity. The U.S. possessed half of the world's wealth while holding only a small fraction of its population. The stated directive was to establish a pattern of international relationships that would maintain this position of economic dominance. The Grand Area was structured to centralize global power. The U.S. maintained military control, while key industrialized nations like Japan and Germany served as manufacturing hubs. Meanwhile, the Third World was positioned to provide raw materials and serve as captive markets. There was a clear distinction between public rhetoric and private doctrine. While idealism was used for public consumption, internal policy planning emphasized prioritizing raw materials and, when necessary, supporting local governments in the use of police repression. In the context of U.S. intelligence, the term communism was often applied broadly. It served as a label to identify and target any regime that prioritized domestic needs, popular living standards, or rejected the prescribed, quote, service role within the global economy. This approach relied on the rotten apple model, or contagion doctrine. The goal was to prevent small nations from successfully implementing independent social reforms, fearing that such examples of success would spread like a virus to other regions within the Grand Area. In the late 1940s and 1950s, policy focused on restoring traditional order by dispersing anti-fascist resistance movements that had emerged during the war. This often involved tactical alliances with former collaborators to ensure power returned to established elites. The repression and investment cycle describes a recurring process, opening an economy to foreign interests, suppressing the resulting popular opposition, and restoring a stable climate for business, often through severe state-sponsored violence. The threat matrix tracks various interventions against independent development. From Guatemala to Nicaragua, the intervention mechanisms varied, but the outcomes, resulting in severe regional violence and the abortion of social reforms, remained remarkably consistent. Targets often included religious leaders and organizers who advocated for democracy or human rights. The executioners were frequently military units, such as the Atlacatl Battalion, trained and equipped by foreign forces to dismantle groups that challenged the status quo. U.S. intervention in Nicaragua was built on three pillars: economic strangulation through financial pressure, the funding of proxy forces, and diplomatic sabotage, all aimed at destroying the existing social reform movement. The video highlights a contrast in media coverage. U.S.-funded entities were defended as bastions of freedom, while independent voices faced violent suppression. This double standard reflects how rhetoric about totalitarianism was selectively applied to serve foreign policy goals. The global system was envisioned as a tripolar world consisting of US-centered, Euro-based, and yen-based spheres. Maintaining control over this structure, especially in the Western Hemisphere, was considered a structural necessity for the US dollar-based bloc. The Brazil paradox demonstrates how high GDP growth and abundant resources can exist alongside severe poverty. Economic liberalization policies often ensure wealth remains concentrated at the top, entrenching a two-tiered society where the majority struggles to meet basic needs. While foreign policy actions might appear as a series of confused mistakes, they reveal a different reality when viewed through the lens of established priorities. Ultimately, the system consistently achieves its goal of securing global power and wealth distribution.